and welcome. Welcome everyone. Dr. Mandel here with you. Hope you're having a beautiful day or night, regardless of where you are worldwide. Today we're going to talk about the miracle healing of the pink Himalayan salt. We are streaming live as notifications are being sent out. This is something, wow, there's a lot of controversy on salts. Sea salts, table salts, but this is one topic I want to specify because doing my homework and using this myself, as well as recommending it to many people over the years, particularly patients and people that I've been acquainted with, as well as media from TV to radio. This is something that is really unique because of the mineral contents of what's in here. It's raw, it's not refined, it's not stripped. Let's go right into it. I got a lot to say, and we'll try to move on this real quick so we can educate you about this pink Himalayan salt. What I love about it, number one, it's raw and unrefined. The dirty secret in the salt industry is leaving only the sodium chloride. Obviously, they're stripping it, and then they may be adding the iodine. People talk about the goiters and the thyroid problems, but we don't have to worry about that so much because we get plenty of iodine from other foods that we eat. But the most important thing is realize that the old, simple salt, they're adding all kinds of funky things to it to keep it from clumping together. Anti-caking agents. There are other things that people have no idea what they're actually eating, but when it comes down to the pink Himalayan salt, this is definitely a better choice. I'm going to go into some very important things for you, but most important about the pink Himalayan salt, up to 84 different trace minerals, from calcium to chloride to iron to manganese to phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and I'll see if I can go in and try to name a whole lot more that I can't even pronounce some of these names, but it is quite fascinating. This is Mother Nature's way of life. This is something that really has done benefits for me and for many that I have come across with, and I'm sure it could do benefits for you. Realize that we're looking at minerals, and the purpose of minerals are so majorly important. We look at salt, it's a major component of all biological fluids, including our blood plasma, our lymphatic fluid, our extracellular fluid, our synovial fluid. That means our joints. Guess what? Pain in the joints, swelling in the joints. This can help you. Salt's important for all the cells to absorb water and nutrients. It's important for the help in the body regulating blood pressure. Remember that minerals and electrolytes provided by salts are essential to the nervous system and between the muscles, nerves, and what happens. So many of my, you could say, people who come to my channel have pain. So this is going to be quite fun. Let's go right to it as we move up the ladder. Cleanses the sinus. Very good for sinuses. Now, many people are using sodium chloride or different kinds of salts to flush, to irrigate the sinuses. This really is an amazing thing with sinuses because it helps with pollens, and particularly those people who are susceptible to have a lot of pain in the maxillary area, even some people who have like tinnitus or ringing in the ears, or sometimes some vertigo as a result of clogging of the eustachian tubes. This is something that can really be nice, so keep that in mind. Here, improved hydration. This will definitely help hydration because we're dealing with many trace minerals. I'm not going to go into the physiology of all this. I just wanted to bring you the large topic that I could just throw this across and get you to digest this. It acts as a powerful antihistamine, which will help the sinuses. It will actually help the congestion. Excellent antihistamine. Promotes good blood sugar levels. The minerals help work with the pancreas. It helps work with the nervous system and the hormones in the body. The thyroid is actually tremendously directly affected by these minerals and the adrenal function. So people who are under a lot of stress, people who have hypothyroidism, people who may be retaining lots of fluids or gaining weight and realizing why they're gaining weight, they can't, no doctors can figure it out. Here is something that there are lots of studies, as well as not only studies, but I literally spent a day going through blogs. I went through even through Amazon. I went through all the reviews, and I pulled these things out for people who have been experiencing these particular conditions. Listen, there are studies by doctors out there and by people out there trying to sell things, but to me, there's nothing better than reading reviews of people who are actually experiencing miracles in their own life, and that's where I base a lot of my education from. Supports hormone balance. There's no question that, as we talked about the thyroid is regulated by many different hormones, particularly in the anterior pituitary as well. But that is something to keep in mind. Those people who get a lot of muscle cramps, there's no question that you need those minerals. Those minerals make a big difference, particularly electrolytes, which you're going to find. There is sodium, there's chloride, but again, how all of this works together is beyond what man knows. Again, scientifically, we can analyze under a microscope, we can run blood work, but we don't know all of the reasons why all of these things happen. But again, this is medicinal. This is something that's natural. This is in its raw state. This is nothing that's been taken by man. It's not been stripped. You've got something that's whole, that's been around for thousands of years. And this is something that I'm giving definitely a heads up. Detoxifies the body by balancing pH. It will raise the pH. So if it does raise your pH, what does that tell you? By having more alkalinity in your system, that actually prevents sickness, meaning that bacteria, viruses, cancer, all those things do not really do anything because it only works mainly in an acidic environment. It helps balance blood sugar. We look at here, improves respiratory conditions for people who have smoke, people who have problems in the lungs. There's been many people who have claimed that their lungs have reversed from problems or they could say scar tissue and stuff. This is something that I've read, so I decided I would post it and I would share it with you. I'm sure in the chat room, many of you may have lots of education about this. Maybe you're taking this as well, or maybe your family's with it. And if you can share it with any of our chatters out there, I would appreciate it, and share it with me as well. I would always be willing to learn more, as that's why we're here together. Improves inflammatory skin conditions. This is really quite fascinating. People who have chronic psoriasis, dermatitis, eczema, or any type of inflammatory condition on the skin, this has been known to really help skin conditions. Reduces signs of aging. It will help the skin. It keeps the skin from aging, where it flourishes more moisture, more of an antioxidant with the skin. And obviously, I'm not telling you that you can go in the sun and do everything in the world that your skin does not like and just go ahead and start doing something else. You really need to make sure you're still hydrating, sleeping, keeping the stress down, keeping a positive attitude, eating lots of greens. And on the grains, it's good, but to make sure you're getting the omega-3s. Omega-3s, out of anything out there, I have to go ahead and say that is probably one of the most important. Reduces asthma. I think that has a lot to do with the autoimmune when it comes down to asthmatics, or we can say allergic, the antigens that go on within your system and how the antibodies work from maybe what you're breathing in, what you're eating. We know that this helps increase bone strength. We're dealing with minerals, okay? We're looking at vascular health. Hey, listen, why wouldn't we want better vascular health? Improves our sleeping patterns. There's been a lot of people talking about insomnia, and people who have been on this particular salt have noticed that their sleeping patterns have been much better. Better absorption. Now, this is reason why I wanted to bring this up is because people out there, you may be taking all kinds of vitamins and minerals and all these other kinds of things. You're saying, well, this is going to really help me feel better and help, detoxify me. But if you're not absorbing things in the small intestine, you're not getting into your system. So don't be fooled. There's a lot of people who are toxic, a lot of people out there who have, I wouldn't say toxemia, but you can say the intestines are very toxic and your system needs to be detoxified, because auto-intoxication is a big problem that leads to a lot of ill health and disease. Very essential to the nervous system, and something up my alley when it comes to muscles and nerves and the ability for the central nervous system to communicate throughout the body. This is definitely a biggie. Clears post-nasal drip. I'm going right back to the antihistamine. This has been known for people who have that dripping behind the throat. People swear by this. When I say swear by this, this has really been a helpful thing. There's a very, very dear friend of mine who's an attorney. I put him on this. I turned him on about 6 months ago. He's had post-nasal drip probably about his whole life that he can remember. Don't ask me why or how, but I still will say that it's from those natural great minerals and those essential magical things that work together in the whole state. Support your libido. Wow, that's a big one. Now, I don't know anyone out there who doesn't want to support their libido. I mean, I'm not going to go deep into that subject, but again, these particular questions come up and these comments come up and these people mentioning these things. I said, okay, it's always nice to know that, because that only can be something that is good. We look at the support weight loss by balancing hormones. Again, everything when we look at weight loss, we look at some people when we talk, hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, and all these different kind of situations that go on through the hormone, anterior pituitary. But I believe a lot of these conditions, like, you have a little retention, the fluid retention, you can never get rid of it. You try to diet. It's because there is hormonal imbalances. Females, males, everyone has hormones at different degrees, but particularly in females, the estrogen, progesterone, what goes on in there is still all being related and regulated by the anterior pituitary, the thyroid. And what I've noticed, a lot of people out there, that even though you have normal T3, T4 thyroid levels, you're still hypothyroidism because of your symptomatology. There's a lot of people who just can't lose weight, can't get that gut, can't get that swelling around the abdomen gone. And another big thing that in one of my videos we talked about was extra virgin coconut oil. The coconut oil has been extremely good for hypothyroidism, and anyone out there who's having these issues, I really urge you to start digging on the internet. Look at the coconut oil, what it can do for hypothyroidism. Quite amazing. I thought I would share that with you. Anyways, I hope that this kind of gives you a little bit of better understanding. I always tell you to do your homework and research and stay proactive. If you are new to this channel, I ask you to subscribe. Because of the fact you will continue to get notifications. I am one that likes to come on live, particularly late at night. But I love to stream, I love to educate, I love to teach you. Check out my Facebook, Motivational Doc. I appreciate any comments, any reviews you want to leave there, and questions. I try to do my best answering questions there. Realize I get thousands of questions coming through the internet below this site, and I don't get a lot of them, most of them. YouTube has to forward them to me, and I don't get them, unfortunately, but I tell people to go out to my Facebook, check that out. We'll be expanding and trying to do some more fun and factual things for you. But anyways, most important, I really appreciate the love and the support of names that I see out there all the time and in the chat rooms, and I really feel special. This is about education for all of us. Listen, any way that we can help each other, make someone's life better, give them more quality of life by helping them through ways that are natural to save you money, to save you time, and to have you run to doctors and just take poisons, that should be a last resort. Anyways, God bless everyone, and I wish you lots of great health. Stay proactive, and we'll be together again real soon. All right, bye-bye now.